Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Symbiote Spider-Man, issue number 5 of 5. This book will continue. I'm very happy it will. Shall I show you what the next so-called issue will be, or at least the next plot of the story will be? Symbiote Spider-Man will return. Orange. That looks like Hobgoblin. I am so on board for this. Let's get talking about who made this book. I'll tell you just a wee bit about the book itself. Peter David is the writer, Greg Land on pencils, Jay Lyson on inks, Frank D'Armata on colors, VC's Joe Sabino doing the letters, Greg Land and Frank D'Armata doing the cover art, and the variant cover is by Alex Saviuk and Chris Sotomayor. Stan Lee created Spider-Man with Steve Ditko on art. Later on credited as the co-creator. So, yeah, man, this was basically a wrap-up. It was cool to see that, let's see, which issue was it? I just read it like 2 days ago. I think the review went out yesterday. It was actually Black Cat. it was the actual Black Cat issue number 3, where she develops new powers against magic. Well, her powers work very similarly in this issue, even though there's not necessarily any magic involved. I'm okay with that. I'm genuinely okay with that because whatever. It was important for the plot. It was important for the story, at least. How she was able to do what Spider-Man wasn't able to do. I liked this. We get the first time where Spider-Man wakes up and realizes, hey, something's wrong. Now, in the original stories, when Spider-Man woke up the first time, when he realized that he'd been going out crime fighting and whatnot with the symbiote suit because the symbiote was alive, still is, Donny Cates got a hold of it. We'll see how long that symbiote stays alive. It took the shape of a dog, man. It took the shape of a dog. And Cates didn't kill it. Anyway, interesting that he wakes up, he's like, what the heck is going on? He hasn't fully realized it yet. Maybe we'll get to all that stuff in a bit, but this is really cool, seeing some of those stories from the past that were never told, but I guess should have been. I really do like this. This is basically, I know there's a lot of people who are very nostalgic for the 80s. It's usually those of us who are in our 40s, or, upper 30s, whatever. We get nostalgia. And at the end of the day, we always get a lot of nostalgia coming to us because that's just the way that the world is right now. That being said, this really is that nostalgia trip. If you're a huge fan of the old Earth 616 and whatnot, and you just couldn't get enough of those old Peter David books, especially when he was writing Hulk, but this is good too. This is really good too. This is realistically probably the best comic book in your pull list today. I mean, am I wrong? This really does feel like one of those books back in the 80s, the early 90s, all that. Because that's where it belongs. Exactly where it belongs. So, yeah, that's really like the best sell I could do for you. If you're, alive today, if you're alive today and you're watching this, which includes everybody who's watching this. No, if you're, what do you call it? If you're younger than, Generation X, and you want to know, you want to have a current book that felt like it was written back in the 80s, I can assure you, this really does do that. It has all that crazy adventure, irreverent for anything else around it. Just, this is where we're at, and damn it, bang, here's the story. Yeah, good times. Or maybe it's just nostalgia. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.